If this video right here gets 100 likes, we will take this up Little Red. So for that aeroplane. Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel today. We've got a bit of a different video going on. So basically, long story short, I just had surgery. I can't pick up anything over, I think, 5 kilos or something like that at the moment. Obviously, I can't be working on the RAV. So what we're going to be doing today is actually running through the top 10 mods that I've done to this RAV so far. If for you who don't know or new, hey, how you doing? Please subscribe. But on top of that, this RAV is basically just a budget build RAV that I've been building for the last 12 weeks or so. We've done a lot so far, as you can tell. It's not just your stock RAV anymore. The idea, budget build, have a fun. And we are taking this to the Cape this year. But that's it. So it's just a Tourer, four-wheel drive. Obviously, it's not that capable, I guess you could say, as a four-wheel drive, but budget build, having fun, having a ball learning. So let's get right into the video and start with number 1. So for number 1 on the list, which I think is probably the mod I would 100% do again, probably one of my favorite things I've done to the car. Probably not what you guys are expecting, but it's gonna be this cargo bearer right here that I put in. So basically, in the video, we basically just picked up a cargo bearer from the newer RAV, made it fit in the back of the car, and this thing has been absolutely amazing. It's actually pretty easy to install. It looks really, really good. It holds a bunch of stuff now with the 12 volts, safety gear, hats, all that kind of stuff. And obviously there's a safety factor of it, but I just think sitting here now, it feels more like a cockpit, like a, you know, like a ute kind of feel. Like I just really like that like 2-seater feel. So that's one of the biggest reasons I love this. So this is probably number 1 on the list. Well, no, it is number 1 on the list, and that's why. So there's just no downfall to it. It was pretty easy to install in the scheme of things and all of the other modifications, but nah. So number 1 on the list. Love that. Let's go on to number 2. All right, so number 2 on the list has to be the wheel and tire combo. So we went a very, very budget options for both. So we've got the Sunrayr rims, Steelies. I got these as a combo on secondhand on Marketplace. I think I got it for 400 bucks. I ended up selling the wheels and tires for about 250 bucks. So it's 4 brand new, never been used wheels. And then on top of that, we put some rubber on it. So we just got a set of, I think they're 29-inch mud terrains. They're really small, but they do the job. Makes it look more aggressive. I did want to have them poke out a bit more, so we are still toying with the fact of putting some spacers on it. But I'm gonna have to upgrade the suspension before that because the suspension just makes a bunch of noise. And that's kind of the reason the suspension isn't on this list, because it is just awful suspension. So that's number 2. Nothing else really to say. Wheels and tires look mint, they look great. Number 3, let's go. All right, so going straight on to number 3, we're moving to the back. Obviously looking at some of the 12 volt systems, but number 3 on the list has got to be the Renogy battery monitoring system. It's amazing. If you want anything to make sure you got cheap insurance to know how much battery life you have left when you're on the road, on a budget, $100, Renogy, comes to the shunt and everything like that, fucking mint. I've actually wired it up wrong, so it's not working to its fullest potential at the moment. But I also think that's something to do with this REDARC that I've installed. It's not working. Again, that's why the REDARC didn't make it on the list. The REDARC system is just not working at the moment. So that's why that didn't make it. But for this thing, 100 bucks, Renogy gives you the amperage you have left, the time, what's in and out, percentage, and it looks good. So that's number 3. And moving straight on to number 4 is going to be the King's panel. The King's panel, again, was cheap, easy to install, looks good, and it just works. You get a lot of people saying don't buy 12 volt gear from Kings, there's a lot of fires that happen and everything like that, but all in all, for the price that you get for it, it's insane. You got all the switches you need, everything like that, full, like perfect for a budget option. I won't be using it in the 75 series that I'm building. I want to do something a bit different, but very, very good option. So that works really well for that. So that's what, 3 and 4 done? 1, but well, yeah, so I'm 3, 4. So let's go on to number 5. So moving on to number 5, so this is where you start getting a bit of like bad feedback in some of these things. So number 5 is this King's draw system, the Tines draw system. Works really well, fits after a little bit of persuasion, and it's good and it's cheap. I think it's about 300 bucks, something like that, 250 bucks, something like that, brand new, which is great. They come to the slide on the fridge and everything like that, but all in all, it does feel a little cheap. Like it's a bit flimsy, the metals aren't really that nice. You can feel how cheap it is. So that's why it's a little bit longer on the list, but all in all, I'm not gonna be getting rid of this. the top five that we put on so far is not something that's going to be staying with the car pretty much forever. And this has obviously made the list. It works, it fits, it's smooth, and it just works. But again, it's a bit flimsy, but I probably would buy it again. But now we're going to be moving on to the bottom 5 half. In the bottom 5 half, there's a fair bit of positive and negative feedback for both. And a lot of this stuff I probably wouldn't put back on the car if I had to do it again. So keep that in mind for the number 6 lot, which I've forgotten what it is, but we'll have a look at that now. So number 6, we're back at the front of the car. Obviously the biggest change that you can see to the car to date is this bull bar, which again, you don't see much on these RAVs because they're really hard to come by. This is actually a factory option back in the day, only in Australia, and there's only a fair few that are made, so they're getting pretty hard to come by. It looks good, it works, it was pretty easy to install in the scheme of things. Got it off of Wreckers, had to make custom mounts for it and everything like that, but it does look good. I will give it that. It gives it way more of an aggressive look. Probably one of the only things in the car that I love the most of the look-wise is this bull bar. But the reason it is number 6 on the list, it's alloy. It is pretty lightweight, which is good, but it's just not strong. So I see, when we do take this thing to the Cape, I see some problems with this bull bar staying strong. So that's probably why it's low on the list. If I was to do it again, I wouldn't do this one. I would rather do an Xbox bar kind of look, or maybe a custom one, but I just need something a bit more stronger. Obviously, it's not made, the RAV is not made for going off-road, but for what we want to do, we want to do a bit more. As well as, these hoops are super low, so you can't actually mount lights here too easy. I can't mount good spotties there, so that's another big negative for this. But no, but I do like it. Still, I'll probably end up keeping it on, but it could be better, so. Number 7. So number 7, we're back into the back half of the car again. Number 7 is the rock lights. I don't know if you can see it because it's a bright sunny day outside, but these rock lights, they're great and I do love them. They're a pain in the ass to install, obviously because they're not meant to be internal lights, they're meant to be rock lights for underneath the car. But I don't know, I do love them. They're a bit boring, that's why they're a bit low on the list. But they do work well. I don't think I'm going to get rid of them, but I probably would do something different in the future if I was to do it again. Not really sure what that is, but there's probably easier options out there. But I think the whole thing costs me like $50 for internal lights. It's good. It's good money. They last long. It's got the amber settings. So all in all, good mod. Bit of a pain in the ass to install. But that was my own doing because I fucked it up. All right, so as you can see, we're on the other side of the car, and what can you see here? The rooftop tent. So this is number 8, I think it was. Rooftop tent. I want a rooftop tent. I love rooftop tents. I love camping in them. Makes it more comfortable, everything like that. But this one obviously was a budget option. There's $100 on Facebook Marketplace, bargain, made it fit, everything like that. But as you can see, it's a bit worn for wear at the moment. It's got holes everywhere. It's got a massive hole in the top. It's a pain in the ass to install. It's heavy. It doesn't really look that great on the car day to day. And obviously fuel economy has gone out the window with that too. So in saying all that, number 8, I don't think we're keeping it. I think we're actually going to get rid of it and then we're going to go old school swag setup for this RAV. We are going to do a rooftop tank on the Cruiser, but it's going to be a more solid build, everything like that. This thing, good for the moment, not going to keep it, get rid of it. I've got a whole new setup that I'm thinking of doing on the roof to give us some more storage space so we can really fill that back up with some more like organized storage I want to do. So that's going to be going. That's going in the next couple of weeks. All in all, serves well, but if anyone wants to come buy a rooftop tent, it's for sale. All right, and then for number 9, or second, was it penultimate one? We've got the windshields here. These windshields, I can't fault them at all. I cannot fault them. They're really good. They're easy to install. They're from Ocam, super good and handy. And honestly, they work great. Like when I'm driving around, because they're so tinted, the sun hits it, doesn't get in my eye. They're great, and they look good. I really have nothing bad to say about them. But the reason that I'm not on the list, they're just kind of boring. They probably could have gone above the tent, which I probably could swap them, which we'll probably do that now. On the tier list right now, swap them. But no, they're just boring. There's nothing to them. They look good, but yeah, it's just boring, you know, same old shit. So, nah. So let's have a look what the last one is. All right, guys, so number 10 on the list, which is probably the mod I regret the most, I guess you could say, which I don't really regret too much about the car. I actually love the way it looks. But the one thing I do regret most is going to be these fender flares. So the reason for that, the rears look amazing. They look great. I think they're really good. They both need to get painted, but they looks all right. But the fronts, they didn't fit well. The alignments aren't good. They They look cheap, they're flimsy, and they make the wheels look way too small because of the poke. So we can fix that, and we probably are going to fix that later in the video, or this video, and later in the series. But that's just basically it. So, you know, I'm basically stuck with them now too. So I can't just remove them because there's now holes all in the fenders and everything like that. So I'm a little stuck, but I think we are going to figure something out in the future. But for now, we're stuck with them. But that's probably the least favorite one. But all in all, I think it's probably a good thing to not like. So let me know in the comments below, do you like the fender flares or do you hate them? Let me know in the comments below. We're going to be taking this on a lot more trips coming up in the future. And I want to make a challenge right now. If this video right here gets 100 likes, we will take this up Little Red. If you guys don't know what Little Red is, it's probably one of the more harder tracks in the Queensland area. It's known to be really difficult basically. So if you want to see this go up Little Red, like the video right now. 100 likes and we'll take it up Little Red. Might need a little bit of help, but we'll get it up there. So like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. That's it. Catch you next time.
I'm on the sound, hoodie season, back around, no more summer bounce, little squeeze out, keep that in.